Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear students. Welcome back to our course English Literature of the 17th century. Today is our 10th lecture, as you can see on the screen, and inshallah we are going to start a new play which is All for Love by Dryden, as you can see on the screen here. It's an enjoyable, interesting play. Definitely, inshallah, you are going to enjoy it. And as we are used to in our lectures, we are going to show the sample of the questions at the end of each lecture, inshallah. As you can see on the screen, we have here, this is the title of our play, All for Love, and it is written by one of the most famous dramatists in English literature, who is John Dryden. We are going to start our lecture with having an idea about the dramatic works of Dryden. We have, as you can see on the screen, large number of plays written by Dryden. Dryden was one of the first writers to take an advantage of the reopening of the theaters which had been closed when the Puritans under Cromwell came to power in England. And of course we covered this already at the very beginning of this course, when we have known that all the theaters were closed by the Puritans. And so, as you can see, that Dryden was one of the first writers to take an advantage of the reopening. He was one of the main reasons for reopening these theaters which were closed by the Puritans. And Dryden wrote a large number of dramas which are detailed below under appropriate headings. So these are the dramatic works of Dryden, as you can see, categorized into different types, starting with the comedies. As you can see, that the comedy plays that were written by Dryden are these lists in front of you, these works that you have in front of you, starting with The Wild Gallant, Secret Love, or The Maiden Queen, Sir Martin Marel, also An Evening's Love, Marriage a la Mode, and we have also the Assignation, The Kind Keeper. We have also Amphitryon. These are the comedies written by John Dryden. So one of you might ask, how will be the question about these comedies? So you might have a question like this, as the one that you have written here on the bottom of the screen. One of these is a comedy of Dryden. So I might give you a question that is like this one. One of these is a comedy of Dryden, and you have 4 works, and I will choose one of these comedies to be in as one of these 4 options in front of you, or one of these alternatives or choices in front of you. For example, I might choose the Wild Gallant, as you can see, and write any other 4 works by him or by any other dramatists. So you need to know these titles of his comedies, just in case if you have a question like this, to know which one of these 4 works is the comedy of Dryden. So as you can see, the question is, one of these is a comedy of Dryden. So you might have The Wild Gallant and any other three choices, any other works by either him or any other one. So for example, so if we move to the next page, we have, for example, tragedy comedies. So I might take these three works that he has here in tragic comedies and put them with one of these comedies here in front of you. So definitely you need to know that this work is a comedy and the other three works are tragic comedies. Okay, I think now it is quite clear what I really want you to do. So I will select one of the works either in comedies or in tragedy or in tragic comedies and ask you one of these is a comedy. So you need to circle or to know the answer which is related to the question. Okay, so these are the comedies. If we move to another type of writings by John Dryden, we have what we call here tragedy comedies. Tragic comedies, he has already three in his list. That The Rival Ladies, this is one of his tragic comedies. The Spanish Friar, also Love Triumphant. These are three tragic comedies. Okay, the same case. You might have these three, and I might put or select one of the works which is not one of these three tragic comedies and write a question which is one of these is not tragic comedies. Okay, so I might choose a work from comedies, for example, The Wild Gallant, the one that we mentioned in the previous page, and put The Wild Gallant with these three choices. Okay, so I will ask you one of these is not tragedy comedies of Dryden. So you need to select here The Wild Gallant, which is of course belonging to the comedies and not to the tragic comedies. Please, you need to know and to study the titles of his works, either the comedies, tragic comedies, or tragedies, or operas, or whatever. Okay, so this part is important because now I told you how your questions will be about this part. Okay, so if we move to next page, we have here tragedies, including heroic plays. So we started with the comedies, and we move to the tragic comedies, and then we move to his tragedies. So in his tragedies we have the Indian Emperor. We have also Trajan's Love, or the Royal Martyr. Also we have Almanzor and Almahant. We have Amboya. We have Aurangzeb and All for Love, and this is the play that we are going to study inshallah together. Or it has another name, which is The World Well Lost. It's the same play, but this is what we call, it might be a subtitle or something to this play. So this is the play that we are going inshallah to study during the coming lectures inshallah. So All for Love, or The World Well Lost. We have also Don Sebastian, and we have Colomans. Also, this is one of his tragedies. The same will be for these other tragedies that we have here. So I might select one of this, for example, the Indian Emperor or whatever, and saying one of these is a tragedy of Dryden, and giving you 4 choices in which you will have one only will be a tragedy of Dryden. Okay, so please, again, you need to know these titles of the plays. Okay, now we have another type of writings by John Dryden, which is operas. He wrote also operas, and he has already in his list 3 operas, starting with The State of Innocence. This is one of his operas. We have also Alpian and Alpinus, and we have another one which is King Arthur. Okay, so these are his 3 operas. As you can see on the screen, one of these is an opera of Dryden. So you might have King Arthur, for example, with other 3 choices, and asking you one of these is an opera of Dryden. So you need to go directly here to King Arthur to choose as an opera written by John Dryden. Okay, I think now the picture is quite clear in front of you. So concerning these works, the dramatic works of John Dryden, you need to know the titles and to which type this title belongs. Either it belongs to comedies, or either it belongs to tragedies or operas or tragicomedies. And of course your question, your choice inshallah will be the best one. I'm quite sure of this. Okay, so it's quite simple, but what you need is to be familiarized with these titles, to know this is an opera, or this is a tragedy, or this is a tragicomedy, and so on. Okay, if we move to the next page, we have here a brief idea about John Dryden, our great dramatist. As you can see on the screen, we have here Dryden was a man of versatile genius. So he was genius. He distinguished himself as a poet, as a dramatist, and also as a critic. So he is genius. He has different talents, being as a poet, being as a dramatist, being as also a critic, which means that he wrote many poems, he wrote many dramas, and also he wrote many articles in criticism. He made a name for himself in the writing of both verse and prose. So he wrote verse and prose. However, it is not as a dramatist that he won immortality, which means that it is not his drama which made him immortal. His greatness rests chiefly upon his poetry, which means that he is well known as a poet more than as a dramatist. And his literary criticism, so his literary criticism and also his poetry made him well known to the people more than even his dramas. As for his drama, it is only All for Love, which still endures and which will always endure, which means that All for Love is his most famous play, which all the people know him as a dramatist by this play. So if you mention John Dryden as a dramatist, it comes immediately to your mind the title of the play, All for Love, this play which we are going inshallah to study together in this course. Also the play, if we have an idea about this play, as you can see, the play was written and first performed in December in 1677. Last time I told you that the dates are important. The dates of the works are important. So you might have a question which is All for Love was written and first performed in December, and and you have different four choices of the dates. You have 1677, 1678, 1679, or 1675, or whatever. Okay, so you need to know that this play was written in 1677. Okay, the dates are important either in this or either in the previous works which we already covered. All for Love deserves a very high rank in British drama. So it is well known play, and it has a high rank in the British drama. Okay. Now the subtitle. Dryden gave to his play a subtitle, which is The World Well Lost. This is the one that we have just mentioned few minutes ago, that our play All for Love has a subtitle which is The World Well Lost. This is the subtitle of our play All for Love. Okay, the subtitle means that Anthony, who is the hero, the main character in our play, did well to sacrifice his empire, for the sake of his love for Cleopatra. And Cleopatra also is the main female character that we have in this play. So Antony did well to sacrifice his empire for the sake of his love for Cleopatra. And that Cleopatra did well to sacrifice her kingdom also, as he sacrificed his empire for her sake. Also, she sacrificed her kingdom and her life for the sake of her love for Antony. Okay, so both of them, they sacrificed either the empire or the kingdom for Antony, for each other. Okay, All for Love is a historical play. You need to know this, that it's a historical play. It's not a romantic play. It's not a social play or whatever. But it is a historical play, which means that it belongs to these historical events that happened long time ago. So All for Love is a historical play. Dryden depended on Shakespeare's play Antony and Cleopatra. So as you can see here in front of you, that All for Love, that was written by Dryden, is a historical play. And when Dryden wrote this play, he depended, as you can see, he depended mainly on Shakespeare's play Antony and Cleopatra. So you know that Shakespeare wrote a very famous play which is Antony and Cleopatra, and Dryden, when wrote his play also All for Love, he depended mainly on this work of Shakespeare, Antony and Cleopatra. And as you can see that he also chose the same names of his characters, of his main characters in the play, also Antony and Cleopatra. Okay, now we come to a very important point. So in the previous pages, we concentrated on the dramatic works of John Dryden, the comedies, the tragedies, the tragicomedies and the operas, and this part that we have just explained and mentioned. is very important because you will have a question about this part, which is selecting one of these works and saying one of these is a tragedy or a comedy or whatever. Then we move to another point, which is the title and the subtitle of the play and how Dryden got his fame from writing poetry and writing criticism more even than the writing drama. Now we move to another important point, which is about a summary of the play, starting of course with a summary of Act 1. You need to know the events of the play because all the questions will depend mainly on these events. So you need to know what happened throughout the play, the events, how the play started, what happened in Act 1, what happened in Act 2, till you reach the end, which is in Act 5. Okay, so the events here, the story itself is very important, and most of the questions, of course, about this part will be from these summaries that you will have about Act 1, Act 2, or whatever. Okay, a summary of Act 1, we have portents and prodigies witnessed by Serapion. This is the subtitle. We have here the play opens with. The play opens with. It opens with what? Opens with a speech by whom? By Serapion. And who is Serapion? He is a priest of the temple of Isis in Alexandria. So the play started with the speech of that priest, who is the priest of the temple of Isis in Alexandria. Okay, what was in that speech by Serapion? Serapion, in his opening speech, gives an account of what? Of certain portents and prodigies which have been occurring frequently in Egypt. Portents and prodigies, these are strange things that might be supernatural things that might happen. So in his opening speech, he gives an account. He mentioned some certain portents and prodigies which have been occurring frequently in Egypt. He had seen a whirlwind blowing furiously and the doors of the underground tombs of the Egyptian kings opening suddenly. So he saw that the doors of the Egyptian kings, of the tombs of the Egyptian kings, opened suddenly. He had then witnessed the ghosts of the period Egyptians, of the buried Egyptians kings, coming out of their tombs and standing on their graves. Okay, of course, all of these are superstitions, and of course they are not real. The ghosts were groaning. So the priest here is telling that he saw all these things. So the ghosts were groaning, and a voice full of grief had then said that Egypt was on the verge of destruction and extinction. So he said that he heard a voice full of grief had then said that Egypt was on the verge of destruction and extinction. Okay, now next page, as you can see, we have here a conversation between Serapion and Alexis. So after saying this speech to the audience, he had a conversation with Alexis. So let's see what happened in that conversation between Serapion and Alexis. Alexis has overheard Serapion's account of the supernatural happening. So he heard him when he was speaking loudly about all these supernatural happenings. So he started to speak and to talk with him. But Alexis does not believe that Serapion has actually witnessed these occurrences. So he did not believe in all these supernatural happenings or supernatural things that happened and which Serapions had mentioned, which is about the groaning of the ghosts, the opening of the tombs, and all these things. So Alexis did not believe in this. Alexis scolds Serapions, or scolds. Not only he did not believe him, but he scolds him. Scolds means to insult Serapion for having described the happenings which he claims to have actually witnessed, but which, according to Alexis, are a product of Serapion's overheated imaginations. So Alexis believed that all what Serapions mentioned, or what he mentioned, only it's just something out of his imagination, something that he imagined, something that he believed in only in his imagination. But for Alexis, all these things were not real. Okay, so according to Alexis, are a product of Serapion's overheated imagination. Serapion and Alexis then talk about the prevailing situation in Alexandria. Alexandria is under a siege by the Roman troops of Octavius Caesar. So Alexandria at that time was under the siege by the Romans of Octavius Caesars. Serapion says that if Antony is defeated in his war against Octavius, or if Antony gets reconciled with Caesar, Egypt would become merely a province of the Roman Empire, which means that if they accepted this reconciliation with Octavius, it means that Egypt will belong to Octavius himself, and would then be exploited by the Romans, which means the Roman will occupy Egypt if it happened a reconciliation between Antony and Octavius. Okay, just at this moment, a stranger is seen arriving in Alexandria. Who is that stranger? As you can see, Alexis recognizes these strangers as Ventidius. Also, Ventidius is one of the main characters in this play. So this stranger that was seen by Alexis, that arrived recently in Alexandria, is Ventidius. And who is Ventidius? He is an army general owing allegiance to Antony, which means that he was an army general, and he was quite loyal and faithful to Antony. Ventidius strongly believes that Cleopatra had been responsible for the ruin of Antony. You will find out the play, you will find that Ventidius hates Cleopatra. Why he hates her? Because he loves Antonio as a friend and as a brother, and he believes that Cleopatra is the main reason for his ruin and for his failure, for his destructions. So you'll find him throughout the play trying all the time to separate the two, to make Antony leaves Cleopatra and just to take him to ask him to move to another play. Why? Because he loves Antonio as a brother and as a friend, and he is quite sure, he believes that Cleopatra is the main reason for the destruction and the ruin of Antony himself. So Ventidius says that Cleopatra has put golden chains around Antony and has made him a slave to her love, thus robbing him of his manliness. So he believes that Antony now, his manliness, his being as being a man now, was taken by him because of his love to Cleopatra. Ventidius deplores Cleopatra's demoralizing influence on Antony, who seems to have lost all his heroism and valor. Alexis, in reply, says that one of Antony's excellent qualities is his loyalty to the woman who loves him. Okay, now Ventidius' object in coming to Alexandria. Object means aim. So why Ventidius came to Alexandria? Why? Because of this. The reason that we mentioned just right now. Ventidius has come to Alexandria. Why? In order to make an effort to wean Antony away, to separate him, Antony away from this place, and to prevail upon him to lead a fresh campaign against Octavius Caesar. And a gentleman attending upon Antony informs Ventidius that Antony has been leading a life of isolation for the last many years. Although Antony has given strict orders that he should not be disturbed in his solitude, Antony gave some orders to his guards not to be disturbed by anyone. But Ventidius is different. When Antony knew that he came, Ventidius decides to disobey the order and to have a talk with Antony. So he said that I need to meet him. The shadow of an emperor. Before actually intruding upon Antony's privacy, Ventidius overhears Antony talking to himself. In his soliloquy, Antony says that he would celebrate his birthday with double display of sadness, which means that he was sad. And why he was sad? He said that he had enjoyed much glory during the years of his youth, but now there is no glory left for him to enjoy. He has now forsaken everybody, and everybody has forsaken him. That now he left everyone, and he does not want to be with the others, and the same, the others do not want to be with him. He feels as if he is living alone in the midst of wild nature. Okay, so one of these is not there. I'm sorry, only of wild nature. Okay, Antony's regret and remorse. Ventidius feels very depressed only on hearing Antony speaking to himself in tones of such despondency. He now approaches Antony and confronts him. Antony instead Antony, instead of feeling pleased to see his general and friend, so instead of being happy to see Ventidius, his friend, says that wishes to be left alone, that he wants to be alone. Antony tells Ventidius that he cannot forget his defeat at the Battle of Actium, that he cannot forget his defeat. He cannot forget his defeat at the Battle of Actium. But Ventidius assures him that he can still defeat Octavius. Ventidius offered of the support of 12 legions of Antony. Ventidius says that Antony should not live in an unreal world, should not waste his time in idleness. So he's trying to encourage him and to make him not so depressed as he saw him. So he then informs Antony that he had brought 12 legions from Parithia to the banks of the river Nile. So he brought with him soldiers just to encourage him to start war or to launch war against Octavius. So, and those legions are waiting for Antony to take command of them. Ventidius says that those legions are ready to fight against Octavius's forces on Antony's behalf, though they would not fight for Cleopatra's sake. Then we have here a quarrel between friends and a reconciliation. Antony feels somewhat annoyed. He was annoyed to find Ventidius making contemptuous reference to Cleopatra. Once he started speaking about Cleopatra and telling him that she was the main reason for his ruin and his destruction, Antony did not accept this, and he therefore warns Ventidius not to speak a single word against her. Antony says that Ventidius is speaking not frankly but like a jealous traitor. He accused his friend by being a jealous traitor. So Ventidius feels deeply hurt at being called a traitor and says that if he had been a traitor, he would have gone and joined forces with Octavius, which means that if he did not love Antony and if he was not sincere and loyal to him, definitely he would leave and join the forces with Octavius. Antony, realizing his mistake, he got back his mind and knew that he was mistaken in accusing Ventidius as being a traitor. So Antony, realizing his mistake, apologizes to Ventidius, whereupon Ventidius says that it would be better for Antony to kill him, to regard him as a traitor. Antony then appreciates Ventidius' sincerity. He was sure that Ventidius is sincere to him, and says that while all the others have merely been flattering him, Ventidius alone has spoken frankly and has spoken from a true feeling of friendship for him. Antony then calls upon Ventidius to show him the way to victory, because there is still time for them to set things right. However, Antony says that the same time that Ventidius should not curse Cleopatra. But although of this, he assured that he should not mention a word against Cleopatra. Antony's promise to leave Cleopatra and go with Ventidius at the end of their talk with each other, Ventidius could convince and persuade Antony to leave Cleopatra in order to be saved. So Antony now promises to leave Cleopatra in order to go with Ventidius, even though he loves her beyond life, beyond conquests, and beyond empire, though not being his owner. Antony says that Ventidius will once again see him fully armed to fight and ready to command the veterans waiting for him. He then assures Ventidius that his heart have again become a firm and as strong as they originally were. Once again, Antony feels the desire to face his enemies in the battle. Now he decided to launch and to start a war against his enemy Octavius. He and Ventidius would lead their soldiers like time and death, and would make their enemies taste the doom which is to overtake them. Now let's have a look. We have already finished Act 1, summary of Act 1. You need now to see samples of the questions, and again, as I'm doing in every lecture, these are not the questions that you are going to have in the final, but these are just, as you can see, samples of the questions to make you familiarized with the types of questions that we have. For example, like this one, All for Love, which is the title of our play, is a, and as you can see, is a romantic play, is a social play, is a historical play, or is a tragic play. Of course, as you can see, as it is written, the correct answer is C, which is All for Love is a historical play. Okay, let's move to another question, which is a stranger is seen arriving in Alexandria. Alexis recognizes this stranger as who appeared at the very beginning of the act in Alexandria as a stranger. Of course, we have four choices. We have Ventidius, we have Cleopatra, we have Antony, and we have Octavia. Of course, the correct answer here is A. Of course, as we said, that Ventidius is the one, he is the stranger that arrived in Alexandria, and who Alexis recognizes him as a stranger. Okay, now I have already finished Act 1, a summary of Act 1. Hope you have an idea, a good idea now about this act and how your questions will be in the final exam. Best of you to all of you. Please study hard. I'll do my best to help all of you. Thank you very much, and inshallah I'll see you in the next lecture with also a summary of Act 2. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.